Hello everyone, welcome back to the Will the Reaper channel. In today's video, I'm going to be determining what kind of content Clash Royale cards would make if they were, like me, a YouTuber. So yeah, that's what I'll be determining. I'm going to guess it, like in a sense of a tier list, I'm going to be determining if what I'm predicting is a good guess, decent guess, or bad guess. And I have spent the past 35 minutes in my comments section trying to find who suggested this idea. I know Chanting T5Z reinforced this idea, so I'll give you a shout out, but I can't find who suggested this to me. So if you are watching this, whoever this whimsical idea person is, please comment so I can give you a shout out. I feel really bad that I couldn't find your username, but you're out there somewhere. Maybe you removed the comment, but yeah, I just apologize in advance. But anyway, enough rambling. Let's get down to it. Obviously, only alive objects can be YouTubers, right? So things like a can and a can't post something, you know. Anyway, skeletons. Skeletons would probably just do like, I think they would be like trend followers. You know, I think they would just kind of post whatever's going on in the ether, and like that's it. I'd say that's like a decent guess. Bomber would definitely show off his bombs, right? He would definitely do like bomb collection, gunpowder collection, stuff like that. Anything like bomb related. I know that like gun related content on YouTube does pretty well. Cause like interesting to see like certain firearms go off, but I think Bomber would definitely do something along the lines of like showing off his explosives. I think spear goblins, both regular and and the spear goblins, I think they would definitely be like reaction content, or like no, they would definitely be the streamers that would go into like Omegle or some like live streaming platform and just like mess and play pranks on people. They would definitely be funny. They definitely have some haters, but most people just find them funny. Knight, who? I don't know. I don't really think Knight would want to do YouTube. I think, like, I don't know. I really don't. Maybe the Knight just does like a day in the life as a knight. I don't know. That's really bad. Oh my god. Archers, they'll probably post archery. I don't think they would care about YouTube whatsoever, but if they did, they could definitely do like trick shots with archery. That would be really cool. That'd be awesome to see. Imagine they're like 5,000 feet away and they somehow calculate the trajectory and get it. Like that'd be sick. 5,000 feet away is way too long. Minions, I don't know. What would a minion do? I have no what. Okay, thank you, Windows Security. I have no idea. I guess minions would show like consuming dark elixir, like I double dare you to drink dark elixir or something, and then the minions do it. I have no clue. It's a bad guess. Barbarians probably just post like fighting. They probably just post like eating challenges and then fighting because that's all they do, and they'd be good at it. Minion Horde, I have no idea. Musketeer is definitely like a peak trick shotter. She could definitely shoot the musket behind her head like this and, shoot it from like 300 feet away. Something crazy like that. She'd be goated as a YouTuber. Valkyrie. I think Valkyrie would also be a goated YouTuber. I think she would do like American Ninja Warrior type of like challenges, with like the strength and speed that she has. Maybe, because her axe is like 200 pounds, she could like show off like how heavy the axe is or something. Hog Rider, I think Hog Rider would be like a nature YouTuber, right? He would either post himself like out in the wilderness exploring like all this wildlife, or of course he would post his hog and he posts like, the friendliness and love that he has for his animal. And I think that's a pretty good guess. Mini Pekka would just be pancakes, right? Him cooking pancakes, him going to different restaurants, ordering the best pancakes ever. That would be some good quality content, especially since he already has that like brand recognition. Everyone loves Mini Pekka. People wouldn't care what Mini Pekka posts. He just posts whatever and people would love it. Giant, I guess a day in the life, right? Like day in the life as a giant, right? You're like what, like 40 feet tall, right? Like that would be interesting to see. Like that'd be awesome to see. But I don't know if you'd want to do a day in the life as a giant, as in biological anomaly. There we go. Bomb tower. Okay, so even though the tower itself is inanimate, any any like cards that have characters in it that can hold a laptop, I'm allowing. So I guess like I don't know, working as a bomb tower worker, I guess. That's a pretty bad guess, but I think that would be good content though. But maybe the bomber in that bomb tower has a different kind of idea that they'd want. Wizard. Wizard would definitely be like experimenting different spells. Maybe like live streaming, conducting experiments. But I think him just showing off spells would be very good. Skeleton Army, maybe I don't know. The Skeleton Army had to be YouTubers. What would they post? Maybe they'd post like their daily duties. I don't know. That's a bad guess. Goblin Barrel. Goblin Barrel is definitely like a prank channel. Imagine like they go outside of like an elderly person's home and they just like shoot the barrel like at their doorstep. They'd be like so confused. Um, I don't know, something along those lines. They would just be pranksters. They would be good content. I really don't know what a baby dragon would post. Right? I don't think the baby dragon is really old enough or smart enough to determine like what would be good content. I don't think it'd be a good YouTuber. Which probably like mother content, right? She'd probably be like, looking after how to look after children effectively or something, right? Either that or similarly to the wizard, it could be like showing off like new spells or even showing off like the new staff, but I don't know, that's like a decent guess. um Now the barbarian hut, maybe the barbs, I think the barbs would do like, oh, living inside of a barb hut, like first person view or something like that. That'd be like decent content, but I don't know what the barbs really want. Prince would definitely just be like gloating all of his armor, right? He'd have some charisma, but I think most of his content would just be like showing off his palace and stuff like that. Which, if you're gloating your wealth on YouTube, really depends on how you're going about it. If you're just flaunting all your wealth, like you're kind of a jerk and no one likes you. But if you're just like, oh my god, guys, thank you for all the support. Look what I've been able to get with all the money and views and stuff. That'd be good content. Um, the balloon, I think the balloon would just do like POVs of like all the landscapes that the balloon would go over. Like a nice prairie, like the bomber just gets out his like iPhone, starts live streaming. I think that's a good I think that's a good guess. Giant skeleton, I have no clue what the giant skeleton one. If I'm being honest, it's a very bad guess. Maybe like living with a giant bomb strapped to my back, 24-hour challenge. Don't watch it at 6 a.m. Something like that. I have no clue. Pekka would do like butterflies, right? Butterfly content, whether she gets like new butterfly gardens or tries to look for the rarest species. I think that'd be pretty interesting, especially since it's a suit of armor. Golem, I mean, I really don't know what the golem would post. Like day in the life as a golem, kind of like the giant. I don't know. That'd be like somewhat interesting. I'd have no clue. Yeah, no, that's a pretty bad guess. At least with the giant, like the giant has like I don't know. I feel like the giant would care somewhat about YouTube, right? I feel like he'd want a connection with an audience. I don't know if the golem really cares about connecting with an audience. Royal Giant showing off the cannons. He's showing off his brightest cannon. He's flaunting. I don't. He's not flaunting. He seems like a humble guy, but he's showing off his cannon, and he's probably saying like a day in the life is like a gigantic person. That'd be awesome. I'd love to watch Giant content. Three Musketeers is literally like Dude Perfect, except with women. So it'd be like Women Perfect or like Miss Perfect. I have no clue. They would all do trick shots with their muskets. It'd be awesome to see. Um, Goblin Drill, honestly, the goblins inside of their live streaming, like them going underground inside of a drill, that would be really interesting content. I think they would definitely like live stream, and I think that'd be a good guess as to what they'd do. Dark Prince, I really don't know what the Dark Prince would do for content. Maybe just like riding a horse. I don't know. That's pretty bad. Princess probably does like get ready with me tutorials or probably like archery. Like the regular archers, I'd have no clue. Day in the life as royalty, maybe something like that. Ice Wizard doesn't care about YouTube content. I don't really think he'd post anything. If he did, maybe he'd do like winter time stuff. Like if it's like in the middle of December, he's like, oh, putting snow everywhere where there's no snow and making the people happy, I guess. Furnace, I guess just making fire spirits would be pretty interesting, but I really don't know what the furnace would do other than that. And I don't know what kind of content it would want to post. Guards would definitely be like day in the life as a royal guard. Um, just like as a guard, it'd be interesting. But miner, well, it's mining content, right? If he straps a webcam right next to his hat, right, so he could like, or he has like Ray-Ban glasses, right? Anything that he could put on his hat while he's mining, that would basically be what the miner would do for content. Sparky, oh yeah, Sparky can't. Sparky doesn't have thumbs. Sparky can't do anything. Fire Spirit, I mean, wouldn't the Fire Spirit just explode if it touched an iPhone? Assuming that they can control their temperature. I really don't know what the Fire Spirit would do. Lava Hound would definitely be like mother content. Like, oh, I'm about to give birth to like 7 children. Like, come with me on this journey as I like do my best as a very strong mother. Um, in terms of like uploading the content, I think the Lava Hound's thumbs are very small, but as long as she could click the live stream button and be like, all right, guys, about to give birth or something like that. I don't know. Ice Spirit's next to Fire Spirit. I don't know what it would post. Bowler, but would be bowling. Like, I posted bowling content, like about a year and a half ago before I started getting into Clash Royale content, which thank you all so much for the support. I appreciate it. But, there's a lot of bowling content out there, right? Sports are definitely highly engaging, for many audiences. And even though bowling's a bit more of a niche audience, it still has a good fan base. Bowler would post bowling. That's very simple. Lumberjack would post him chopping down trees, and maybe he tries to set a record of like chopping down the biggest tree in like all of the Appalachian Mountains or something like that. Are there trees in the Appalachian Mountains? Maybe like a few trees, and I don't know. I don't know what I'm getting at, but Lumberjack would do lumberjack content, cutting down trees and stuff. Um, did I sound really dumb saying there's trees in the Appalachian Mountains? I don't know. Goblin Hut would be day in the life of living in a Goblin Hut. Goblin Hut would be turned into a whole stream house, like content house. Like, what was it, like FaZe Banks did that or something, like back in like 2017? Like, that's literally what the Goblin Hut would turn into. That'd be so interesting to watch. I don't know what the Snow Golem would post. I really don't. Neither about the Mega Minion. I'd have no clue. Inferno Dragon, maybe he could do like cooking content. Oh, maybe he tries to see like how much stuff he could like blow up with his beam. That would be pretty interesting. Graveyard Spell, maybe the skeleton live streams like being in a graveyard. I don't know. That's a pretty bad guess. Elite Barbarians. I don't know. Mankind next to Barbarians, they'd probably just live stream themselves like fighting, doing brawl content. That's it. Electro Wizard. I see the Electro Wizard being like a professor. Like what do you have? Oh, who's that channel? Not Chemical Academy. There's a really popular, like very, very popular math YouTuber. I think it's like something Academy. I forgot what his name is. Like everyone knows him because he's so helpful. He literally does everything from like algebra all the way up to like Calc 3. I think that's what the Electro Wizard would do. Just be a very good professor. Goblin Gang, you already know they're all going on stream. They're probably talking to Kai Cenat or something like that. They're just trolling, having a good time. That'd be interesting content. Dark Goblin, I don't know. Probably forest content like the Hog Rider. I don't know though. Executioner content. I don't know what the Executioner would post. He can't post his job because that would get taken off of YouTube immediately. I think it would definitely be like testing out new axes. I think that would be a decent guess, right? If he knows he's going to get banned for YouTube for posting like a day in life as an executioner, right? Because that content would be horrible. You definitely probably just be like, I bought this new axe. Watch me sharpen it, right? If he sharpens his axe, you see sparks flying everywhere. That'd be pretty interactive. Bats, I mean, day in the life of a bat. Can a bat even post on social media? I don't even think they could post. But even if they did, like, it's just bat content, which would be somewhat interesting. Heal Spirit, I have no clue what the Heal Spirit would post. Maybe like I just healed this giant back to full HP, but then the Heal Spirit would die doing so. Bandit would probably live stream herself, like, sneaking into a building, and then the police probably get called on her for live streaming a crime. That would be pretty interesting. Night Witch, Night Witch is probably like watch me take care of my bats, right? Which I think that would be decent content. Suspicious Bush, so you'd have a goblin live stream what's like to be inside of the suspicious bush. Which, I mean, that's pretty dead on. That'd be a good guess, but like that'd be good content. I don't really know. Mega Knight would probably just do like the most controversial stuff. He'd probably just say like the most outlandish things, probably piss everyone off. He'd be a very good rage baiter. Yeah, that's a good guess. Excuse me. Skeleton Barrel. So I think all the skeletons in the barrel probably live stream themselves like floating around. I'd say that's like a decent guess, right? You're stuck in a crate with nowhere to go. No, that's decent. Bar Barrel, probably not doing prank content like the goblins, but the barbarian would probably live stream himself just falling in a barrel. I guess that's all he could do. Hunter content would do hunting, which I mean, yeah, that makes sense, but as long as he like blurs out the kills that he gets, I guess it's okay. Um, or maybe not even. He doesn't have to hunt. Maybe he could like trap, right? Like instead of like a shotgun, maybe he has like a tranquilizer dart in there, and he could like hit a species of some kind or something. I don't know. Definitely be hunting content. Royal Ghost can't touch a laptop unless he becomes visible. No, he can still touch things. I guess you would do like, well, I don't even think he wouldn't know what YouTube is actually, right? Yeah, he wouldn't know what YouTube is. It'd take him like a million years, which I guess that'd be a good guess, right? Like he wouldn't know what YouTube is, so he'd have to study YouTube for like 20 hours straight. He'd have to know what an iPhone is. He had to know what technology is. Magic Archer, I'm just putting all the Forest Gang people. I'm just gonna put right next to the Bandit because I feel like they would all just live stream themselves trying to like rob a store. Let's see, and where's Boss Bandit? There you go. There you go. The whole Forest Gang is just gonna get live streamed, and then the police called on them. Royal Recruits would probably live stream themselves arresting the Forest Gang. I think that'd be pretty interesting. But in reality, they probably do like a day in the life as like a royal recruit, which is like decent, I guess. Royal Hogs, I mean, kind of like the bats. I don't think they could really make content, but if they did, it would just be pig content. All right, so now you have the barbarians right inside the battle ram. They'd probably like post a video of themselves like testing out a battle ram, which that would be pretty interesting. I think that's a good guess of what they would do. Goblin Giant, probably like the witch, probably like, oh, taking care of my two like goblins or whatever, friendship content. I don't know. I think that's a decent guess. Electro Dragon, uh, I don't know. Day in the life of Electro Dragon, I guess. I don't know. Ram Rider, I don't really know too much about Ram Rider, but I feel like she'd be kind of the same bracket as Hog Rider, where they would kind of just like go out and explore a lot, which would be very engaging content. Wall breakers, they'd probably test out explosives. They'd probably buy like, blow 10 grand on like a titanium wall or like plate or like box or something. They try to break the metal box with like new explosives. I think that'd be a very good guess. No, they try to see how many walls they could break. And like destructive content on YouTube does work. I don't mean like harmful content. I mean like, you see Mr. Beast like blow up a bus with like 30 missiles in a row. Like that's interesting. Like that's engaging. Goblin Cage or Goblin Brawl. Goblin Brawl will probably live stream himself trying to like get out of the cage. I think that'd be pretty interesting content. Fisherman would do fishing, right? Obviously, you definitely catch like the best fish. That's a very good guess, but I don't know how well fishing content does. I have no clue what the Elixir Golem would do. I don't care about the Elixir Golem. I hate you, Elixir Golem. Battle Healer definitely do like healing content. Maybe she like goes up to like these sick patients and like puts her hand over them like Jesus or something and watches as they magically, you know, become better. That would be that content would be like the most peak content of anything. Imagine she's just walking around these hospitals, puts her hand on their head, and they immediately become better. Like that would be so cool. That'd be revolutionary content. Firecrackers with Forest Gang, again, it's a good guess that they'd probably live stream themselves just robbing a bank or something. Royal Delivery, I mean, it would just be a royal recruit in a box. I don't think that would I mean, that's all they could do. So that would be like a decent guess, but that content's not really that good. I don't know what the skeleton. I have no clue what the skeleton dragons would post. If I'm being honest. Electro Spirit, I have no clue. Electro Giant probably be him like partying. He's going right next to the goblins. He's joining the prank channel. You know, all the partying, the live streaming, talking to Kais and Nat while having a good time. That's what the Electro Giant would do. Sorry, I'm laughing so much. Mother Witch would probably be like, I don't know, maybe like she bakes cookies. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. She turns things into hogs, which I don't think YouTube would allow that because that'd be a disgusting transformation. Golden Knight is 1000% get ready with me. Right, get ready with me as I put on all this like hair dye and as I flex and stuff. It would just be like, what's better than watching me go throughout the day, right? Because he's so awesome that everyone just has to watch him be himself and get ready every day. But I mean, if you love the Golden Knight, I guess his fans would do anything. Archer Queen would definitely be day in the life as a queen, but not gloating like the Golden Knight. It would just be interesting. Like she'd probably be like, "Oh, like how I would tend to my royal subjects" or something like that. That'd be interesting, right? Everyone loves the Archer Queen. She's an interesting character. Skeleton King, I think it would kind of be similar to Archer Queen. It would kind of just be like, here's my skeletons, I guess. But he can't really talk. I don't know. Decent guess. Mighty Miner would not care about YouTube at all, but if he did, he would do mining content like the Miner. Phoenix, I don't know. Phoenix is just a bird. That's it. I don't think the Phoenix could touch a laptop or anything. Maybe with like claws it can do something, but Monk would do martial arts content. He'd post like all the forms, all the techniques and everything. That would be good. Little Prince would just gloat. Little Prince would be like, look, I just got 10 Maseratis from my father, like, oh, I can't even drive them yet. But, oh, no, I just crashed into a bridge. What? Like, now, Little Prince would be so annoying. Little Prince would be so annoying. There we go. Goblin Demolisher, probably test things out with his firecrackers. He'd probably be kind of like the Wall Breakers. It just test, how much stuff you can explode. That'd be pretty interesting. Goblin Machine would the baby goblin test out like all these new gadgets. He'd probably build some insane thing. Maybe he'd build like a full Five Nights at Freddy's like animatronic suit, and then he'd post it, and then that'd be really interesting. Goblin Stein, I don't think his creations are safe for YouTube. He's probably getting banned. Tombstone. So skeletons in the tombstone. I mean, maybe they could live stream like them in a tombstone. That's a bad guess. Rune Giant. I don't know what she would do. I have no clue. Bad guess. I have no clue. Berserker. Probably just her like going berserk. I don't know. That's a horrible guess. I don't know enough about Spirit Empress. At least the Spirit Empress with the dragon, she would definitely post like dragon content, which would be very engaging and interesting. Vine Spell can be a part of it. Alright, now we have the Tower Troops. Princess, I think kind of similar to the Princess, just like archery or day in the life of royalty. Cannoneer probably posting a bunch of cannon stuff. That'd be very cool. Dagger Duchess probably posting about daggers. And the Royal Chef doing cooking content. I think that would definitely be good. Alright, that is my definitive Clash Royale YouTuber tier list. I realized I kind of like did both like how good of a prediction I'd guess as to what content they'd make, but also the content itself would be good. Because kind of like the Goblinstein, like obviously he'd post like his new, mutations and experimentations and stuff, which is basically an on the dot guess, on the money guess. But in terms of the actual content itself, like YouTube would ban it, right? And no one would want to see that really, unless you're a weirdo. But anyway, as per usual, if you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, as it would truly help me out a lot. I'm sorry I've had a little like hiatus, little vacation, little break, but I'll be back soon once I'm in college. I go back to college next week. I'll be posting a lot more. And of course, if you agree or disagree with this video, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And until then, I'll see you all in the next video and have a great day.